owning properties is a lot of fun, and it's a ton of work if you own it. It is a ton of work from start to finish. And so there's a difference between earned income, when you go out and you are the landlord, you are the person handling, managing all of that, and passive income that works when you're asleep and is going to just send you that distribution check.
Welcome to another episode of Kiss My Assets. I am Rocky Peterson, VP of Investor Communications, and I'm sitting here with one of my good friends. You guys have heard him before, Jamison and
Hi, Rocky.
Hi, co-founder. You didn't let me finish. Co-founder of Neighborhood Ventures.
There we go.
You're very important. You're a big deal. And we are going to talk today about something that it's come up a lot in the news, obviously like HGTV, flipper flops. It's been so popularized in kind of pop culture, the idea of real estate investing. But what you see most is like flipping, right? It's that's kind of like been really highlighted. It makes good TV. But the other parts are, the other aspects of real estate investing are to buy and hold properties. And as of recently, there's been another advent, which is the Airbnb, which kind of marries like a real estate investment with almost hospitality. And we're comparing that against passive income from real estate investment. And so Jamison, would you go into, if you'll kind of focus it for me, would you first identify what passive income is, and then we'll kind of go backwards?
Yeah, so it's real estate investing includes a lot of things, including all the stuff that you mentioned.
Okay. That's
under the big umbrella of real estate investing, but there is a huge distinction when you invest in a company like ours and either our fund or in our individual projects, because it is really passive income. So to give you an idea of the type of investors who we often get, we have full-time professionals. It could be school teachers, dentists, attorneys, doctors, because they got to do their job day to day. And they like real estate, but they can't become a landlord. They don't have the time. They don't have the expertise. So passive income is something that they can invest in. The money works for them, but they don't have to do the day-to-day grind that the other types of real estate investing include. So that's what passive income is. And in other forms of passive income, when you invest in a mutual fund, when you invest in the stock market, you don't have to go work at Apple if you own Apple stock, right? It just they send you dividends, and if the stock goes up,
I want to go hang out at the Google Lounge.
Yeah.
So if I owned Apple or Google stocks, I would want to be able to hang out in those lounges because they've always been so attractive to me.
I don't think they allow that, but
all right. Well, then I'll stick with Neighborhood Ventures.
But the idea is the same. It's kind of ridiculous to think, okay, I'm going to buy this stock and I have to go put any work into it. And when you buy a piece of real estate and you own it individually, that's what happens. You're buying a job essentially. And so
that sounds so unattractive.
Yeah, you have to know what you're getting into when you invest in real estate. Is it a true passive investment, or is it really earned income? And so I think it's a great topic to dive into and really talk about the key differences.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, because as you're talking, I'm thinking not only do you have to have the initial deal, which is kind of the start of any real estate investment. So when you're looking at buying something, and going back to the other aspects of either Airbnb, rental property, or flipping, you have to find the deal. And that's difficult unless you have a pretty broad set of skills to do that already. And then once you get that deal, you have to have all of these skills, again, like this. And when you look at a professional who has cornered the market on their niche, to actually expect someone to be able to efficiently do that, it's almost like, how does anyone do it?
Where I started personally was I wanted some passive income to pay for my car payment. So let's just say you have a $500 car payment, and let's say you're getting a 10% return on an investment. So I'll do the math, but you need, let's say you have $50,000 you invest and you're getting a 10% return. That's $5,000 a year. and 5,000 years, like $480 something a month. That pays your car payment. And then that's really fun because you still have your 50,000 that you put in the investment, and it's just spitting off a car for you every month.
I like that.
And it gets really,
I want to do that.
really fun. I think, yeah. And the idea is, and this is Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, is instead of going and spending 50,000 on a car, go spend 50,000 on a passive income investment, get the cash flow from that, pay for the car every month, and then your 50 stays there. And it's brilliant. It's so simple, but if you spent the 50,000 on the car, we know that cars go down in value. 5 years later, it's worth 10.
Right.
And you have $10,000 asset. The other scenario, you have your $50,000 asset, and it's paying for your car all along the way.
And that is the magic of passive income.
Yes.
I love that. You know, I bought my first fourplex maybe 7 years ago, and the guy that I bought it from, he kind of had the same mentality. He was like, if you want something, don't go out and buy it. Just figure out how much you need to invest to then pay for it per month. And it's very, he's probably referencing Rich Dad Poor Dad, to be honest. He probably has now inculcated it into his very makeup, and he doesn't even know when he's spitting it out because it's the exact same concept.
Yeah, and I just did the math while we were talking. So if you invest 50,000 and you get a 10% return, that's 5,000 a year or $416 a month. So that's a good car. And then you base your life on that, and that's how you build wealth. If you spend the 50,000 on the car, and what most people actually do, they never get 50,000. They just get a car and they spend $416 a month on the payment that comes out of their income. But so it does begin with saving. It begins with putting away more than you're spending, controlling your budget in your early years so that you actually can start growing your ability to invest. And then at some point, and I did this, in my 20s and 30s, and it was a struggle. Like, you're just trying to put money away, but you have to have the mentality that I gotta do this because I do ultimately want to have more freedom in my life. And then once you get that first 50,000, you invest it, or that, as you actually will be investing along the way. Once you get to the point where you have 50,000, now it starts paying your bills. Then you get to the point where you get 500,000. And then you got then we're talking of paying your mortgage, right? As
right.
You have 50,000 a year to live on. A really nice house is 50,000 a year.
For sure, and I think it's interesting as you're talking. I'm thinking about the minimum investment that we allow, or that we are that people can invest. It's $1,000, and it sounds kind of small, right? You're like, well, it's going to take a long time for that to grow. But it's what you said, where if you don't start somewhere, then you never get that excitement or that thrill of being an investor, of having that be your, we were talking the other week about your investment thesis, like part of your makeup, like what you value, what you believe in. And I feel like once you start with that, a perfect example is my little sister Carly. She invested with us last year, and she got so excited every time she got an update. She was like, that's my money working for me. And she was so excited to do it the next year. And part of it was based off of the bit you did about, if you invest this much per year, this is how much you'll have in
5,000 a year.
5,000 a year. This is how long it will take you to become a millionaire. And it clicked for her. But what she likes the most about it is that she doesn't have to do anything else. She's a full-time nurse, full-time mom. She's a busy lady. And she takes a lot of pride in the fact that she started when she did. She's pretty young, and it started that whole mentality for her. And it's kind of like, once you get that motivation and that momentum, it's exciting. And I like the fact that we can take unaccredited investors that normally would be excluded from real estate. They don't even have the opportunity in commercial real estate in this way. And Arizona is unique, and what you and John put together, and the team that's built it now, it just allows all of that to happen on a small level, and then it can grow and grow and grow. And she's starting to see that, and it's exciting.